Hurley. Good evening, trustees, Dr. Cook. My name is Sean Hurley. I'm a teacher across the street at Valle Elementary. First, I wanted to say thanks to Dr. Crook. A couple months ago, I spoke to the board about your resolution on high-stakes testing. And not long after that, Dr. Cook and several people from the central office visited all the campuses, I believe, right? And gave what seemed like a heartfelt and really needed first step in addressing the hysteria that surrounds the culture of testing locally in the state. And I just wanted to express appreciation for that. It's a first step. It seems like a lot of action is needed to change the culture, but it was an earnest first step, and it was appreciated and noted. And just along the same lines, I wanted to echo some of your words in the mission statement that hopefully will serve to guide the decisions you make in the budget. First we talk about binding a community in our mission statement, and as was alluded to before, as is proposed, the healthcare budget, which sounds like a raise, it's not a raise for me as a teacher. It comes out to a net pay cut. But again, I'm talking about your words, binding a community. You got three castes here that we're basically talking about. There's no community when it comes to this because, as was mentioned, administration is going to make out just fine in this. I'm going to take a cut. I feel embarrassed to say that in the face of any education support personnel that might be here, because not only are they taking a flogging in this deal, but they're at-will employees. They have no recourse to really speak as freely as perhaps someone who has due process like myself does. You talk about being socially responsible leaders, and most importantly, you talk about fearless leadership, which is a bold statement. I'm impressed that made it past the first draft. Fearless leadership, which is why I was just concerned, it's the last thing I'll mention. On page 95 in the board packet, I know not everybody's looking at it, there's a list of a bunch of districts in our area and their contributions, which kind of rate from not enough to paltry. And there's not a lot of context given for this, and it was just concerning to me that this would be some sort of excuse to find a justification for mediocrity, which is an easy thing to do. It's really easy to justify mediocrity. But it doesn't fall into the category of fearless leadership. It does little to bind a community that, as I've already mentioned, is significantly divided in terms of power and rights. And it's got nothing to do with social responsibility. The last thing you say, that we say in our mission statement, has to do with commitment to beliefs. Those beliefs aren't listed, but I've been coming to these meetings long enough to know that the beliefs that have been exhibited by this board are in keeping with supporting employees, and you've done many things to support employees in the past. And I still trust that you'll do the right thing with this and continue to support our healthcare, which I certainly wouldn't envy any elected official trying to sell a pay cut. There's not a significant financial hardship. Thanks for your time.